Hello and welcome to our YouTube video on action potential. The electrical signal that allows neurons to communicate with each other. When a nerve impulse is generated, it travels along the axon of the neuron until it reaches the end of the axon terminal. At the end of the axon terminal, the impulse triggers the release of neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters cross the synaptic gap and bind to receptors on the dendrites of the next neuron, generating a new nerve impulse. This process of generating and transmitting nerve impulses is known as action potential. Let's take a closer look at how it works. The neuron has a resting potential, which means that it has a negative charge compared to the extracellular fluid. This resting potential is maintained by ion channels in the neuron's membrane. These ion channels are selective, meaning that they only allow certain ions to pass through. The two most important ions for action potential are sodium Na+, and potassium K+. When a neuron is stimulated, sodium channels open, allowing sodium ions to flow into the neuron. This causes the neuron's membrane potential to become more positive, which is known as depolarization. If the depolarization reaches a certain threshold, voltage-gated potassium channels will open, allowing potassium ions to flow out of the neuron. This causes the neuron to become more negative again, which is known as repolarization. The movement of these ions creates an electrical current that travels along the axon of the neuron, generating the nerve impulse. Once the impulse reaches the end of the axon terminal, it triggers the release of neurotransmitters, which bind to receptors on the dendrites of the next neuron, generating a new nerve impulse. And that's how action potential works. Subscribe to the channel for more educational videos on the human body and brain.